Welcome to Ghent. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today as we visit this beautiful city from the Middle Ages. You're going to feel like you stepped back in time when you look at these beautiful buildings, stroll along this lovely canal, and eat some delicious food from some famous Belgian treats. All right, so let's go explore and show you why you need to put Ghent on your travel bucket list. Let's go. All right, welcome to Ghent, and this is St. Bavo's Cathedral, built in the 1200s. So you can go inside, and it's free. Basically, half of the church is free to get into, and it's well worth your time. It's really stunning. I found it to be very beautiful. There's some great artwork you can see, and it's just really pretty. Some magnificent stained glass windows. Now, there's a very famous work of art in there from Van Eyck, painted in the 1500s. The Adoration of the Mystic Lamb, and that is behind an area that you have to pay to get into, and that's 16 euros to go in there. I've been paying to go to a lot of churches, and I've been looking at a lot of artwork, so I didn't really feel like paying 16 euros to go in there and see more. I'm sure it's very beautiful. If you're a big art fan, it's probably worth your money to go in. I did not pay the money to go in there, but I can tell you the front half of the church that you have access to is really quite stunning. It's really beautiful. So I think it's really well worth your time to go in. And if you want to pay the 16 euro to see the rest of the art, I'm sure that's worth it too. But St. Bavo's Cathedral, really beautiful here in Ghent. All right, so this is something we were told we had to try in Ghent, and it's called Juliet J. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it's delicious Belgium French fries, the best frites, not French fries, Belgian fries, best frites. But it also has what looks like deep fried hot dogs on top, and maybe some fried onions, I'm not sure, with some sauce in there, probably some mayonnaise. But yeah, we haven't tried it, but it looks very interesting. I'm sure it's delicious, and one of those must-tries when you are in Ghent. The deep-fried sausage is very good. It's very interesting. Deep-fried sausage with like some fried onions, and I guess that's mayonnaise, but it's quite tasty, and I highly recommend you try this when you are in Ghent. All right, so as we dig into this Juliet J, we've eaten more of it, we've gotten down all the way through it, we realize that for our Canadian friends out there, it's very much like, it reminds us of poutine anyway. So poutine with fried sausages on top, fried onions, and mayonnaise. So you've got the full meal deal right here. French fries, gravy, fried sausages, mayonnaise, fried onions. It's quite a combination of food, and we both definitely think you need to try it when you are in Ghent. I think, unless you're a vegan, I think you'll really like it. All right, so this is the belfry, or the bell tower of Ghent, built in 1313, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Has a nice dragon right on top guarding the city, and it is 91 meters tall, so it's a little bit taller than the one that I climbed yesterday in Bruges. Now you could go and you could climb this one. It's 11 euros to go to the top. I think they also have an elevator, so you can climb the steps or take an elevator. Honestly, at this point, I kind of got my fill of climbing towers yesterday or going up to the top. So if it were, if it were 5 euros, maybe I'd probably do it. But 11 euros seemed a little pricey to me, so I'm going to pass on it. But I believe it would have great views. It's in a beautiful square. And, like I said, it's old tower from 1313 and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So it's something to see, and definitely, one of those must-see places you got to come to when you're in Ghent. All right, so we just took a canal tour with Boat Trip. I don't know what the name of the company is, but maybe Ghent Water Tourist, but Boat Trip is their stand there. And so it was right around 4 o'clock. We wanted to take a canal tour, and we wanted to go to the castle, and we weren't sure. We thought we could squeeze both in. We weren't quite sure. We came over here and asked them when they were going to close. He said, this is probably going to be our last tour. He said, we're open until at least 4. So we stay open later if there's demand. He said, but right now there's not demand, so this is probably going to be our last tour. So we looked up the castle. The castle closed at 6, so we decided to take the canal tour. It was €10 per person, €10 per adult. It was 45 minutes, and it was really good. Very interesting. Our guide was really good. He described the buildings and the history of Ghent really well, made it very interesting, and it's beautiful. It was really nice. In comparison, we did one in Bruges yesterday, and this one was much better than the tour we took in Bruges. And also, we got to the castle, and by the time we got to the castle, it was still open, but they were not allowing anyone else in at that time. So between the two, we're glad that we took the canal tour instead of going to the castle. And I think if you are debating, you're going to do one canal tour between Ghent or between Bruges, I think this is the one you should take, because it was just, I thought it was nicer. It was a little cheaper, it was less expensive, longer, and I just thought the guide gave a better description of the buildings and stuff. So, but definitely, when you're in Ghent, I recommend you taking a tour with Boat Trip, and I think it'll be well worth your time and money. Okay, so we had to balance out our Belgian diet, and the staples, basically we've been living off the last few days, French fries, or not French fries, Belgian fries, frites, and waffles. So and beer. Yeah, so we got a full rounded diet, a little bit of beef stew as well thrown in there, and a fried sausage every once in a while. So we came over, had to get our sweet tooth satisfied, so we got waffles. Just plain waffles. Ordered one with powdered sugar and one with brown sugar. That came with butter and the sugar. And I got a nice Trappist beer. And Betty has a Duvel. And look at this setting. I mean, we're sitting right here on the canal in Ghent. And it doesn't really get much better than this. This is really beautiful. What a fantastic setting. I'm really liking this city. I honestly didn't know what to think, what to expect of Ghent before we got here. But it is really blown away all of our expectations. It's really beautiful, nice city. And utterly pleased with our day trip here so far. So, all right, greetings from Ghent. So we just went inside the St. Nicholas Church. Beautiful building, built in the 13th century. Really nice on the inside, free, entry is free. We went in and very beautiful organ playing. Someone was playing organ, it was really nice. Some beautiful stained glass windows and some really nice artwork. When you look around, at first you might think it's had a lot of war damage. Maybe it looks like soldiers went inside and were shooting up the walls or something, and the columns in maybe World War I or World War II. It's kind of what it looks like, but actually in the 16th century, during the Protestant Reformation, when the Protestants were trying to destroy all the icons, all the religious icons, and a lot of the old Catholic churches. They went inside here and did a lot of damage, and that's what you're looking at when you see the damage on the columns and on the walls in there. It's actually when during the Reformation, when they came in and destroyed a lot of the religious icons. So very interesting, beautiful church, totally free, definitely worth your time to stop in and take a visit. And it's sitting right here on the Corn Markt, which is kind of a lively central square in Ghent, lined with some very beautiful buildings. I don't know all the history of the market and the buildings, but they are very striking, quite beautiful. And there's a lot of people here. It's quite a hub of activity here in Ghent. You honestly, you won't miss it when you're walking around. All right, if you've traveled around Europe at all, you know Europeans tend to like to ride bicycles. Good form of transportation and exercise, and it's also eco-friendly. But I tell you, the Netherlands and Belgium are by far the biggest bicycle riders that I've ever seen, and I think that's likely because it's a very flat landscape here, which lends itself to very easy bike riding. But a lot of bikes here in Ghent, as there are in Antwerp and also Bruges. And if you go to Amsterdam, a lot of bikes there as well. All right, so this is the Gravenstein Castle here in Ghent, and it is a really impressive structure. Really impressive castle structure from the outside. It was built in the 1100s, so it's really old. It served as a royal residence, as a prison for a while, and also as a cotton mill, as a cotton factory for a while. Looks really cool. We wanted to go in. We looked it up. It closes at 6 p.m. and we came over and went in, but the last entrance, they don't let anyone in after 4:40. So even though the castle is actually open until 6 o'clock, you can't go in after 4:40. So we got here a little bit late, weren't able to go in. Tickets are €13 per person, per adult, to get in. It looks really cool. I think it would be very interesting to go inside, but unfortunately we were here a bit too late. But it's a very impressive structure. If you don't want to go in, come over and take some pictures on the outside. If you take the canal tour, you get some really nice views of it from water level. So a really impressive structure, Castle Gravenstein, I can't remember which way it's written, but anyway, really cool looking building when you're here in Ghent. And so right across the street, or right across the square from the castle here in Ghent is the Tourist Information Office, which is located in this really cool looking building. Don't know much history about this building, but it's a very impressive building. Tourist information is open from 10 to 5, 7 days a week. And it has a real nice location right on the canal. So go in there, see if you can get some literature on the city, whatever, your souvenirs, and it's right across the street from the castle. Very easy to find. So you're probably getting sick of watching me eating French fries, but I tell you what, when you're here in Ghent, you've got to come over here. There's a little no-name friture shop selling frites, and these are probably the best we've had in Belgium. Super crispy, super good, and they've got a nice, this is called samurai sauce. It's like spicy mayonnaise. It really does have a little bit of kick to it. These are really good. Only €3.50 for this big order, which is really good. He also has some beer, some soda, some water in there to get. But yeah, when you're walking around, and it's right on the other side of this building is the old butcher's hall, I guess, and it's under renovation right now. But on the other side of that, right on the other side of the canal, and I would tell you what it's called, but it doesn't really have a name. It just has a sign that says Friture Open. Go in there and get yourself some fries. You'll be happy you did. All right, thanks for joining us on this day trip to the beautiful city of Ghent. And I tell you, I didn't really know what to expect about Ghent. We weren't sure what we were getting into, but I would tell you, it really exceeded any expectation we might have had. It's beautiful. It's historic. I mean, there's tons of great food, great frites. Lovely canal boat. There's a cool castle. I mean, it's really awesome. And in my opinion, it deserves more than a day. I'd like to come back and spend a night here, maybe spend a couple nights here. It's really, it's that cool. So I definitely recommend you put it on your travel destination bucket list. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. If you liked this video, I hope you did. Hit that thumbs up button. Think about subscribing to our channel. Leave us a comment. Let us know what's your favorite travel destination in Belgium. Have you been to Ghent? And what did you think of it? So let us know, and we appreciate you joining us. And join us again next week and see where we end up then. Thanks. Bye.